which demonstrates this. There was a man and he was walking. Mind your own business, walking amongst some mountains, enjoying the view, taking everything in. And then he fell down the cliff face, took a bit of a tumble. But he held out onto a branch, quite a strong branch, and he was taking his way. And he said, "Help! Help! I'm going to die, help!" No answer. "Help! Help! Somebody help me, I'm going to die." No answer. Well, okay, let's try God. "God, I'll do anything. Please help me in this situation. Please help me. I'm here hanging on a branch, but just please help me in this situation. And I'll do anything. I'll do absolutely anything." And the Lord answers him and says, "Okay, I'll help you." He says, okay, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? And he says, "Let go of the branch." "Help, help! Is anybody there? Is anybody there?" We don't want to let go. We need to take that step of faith and let go of these idols, these things that are getting in the way. Ask the Lord to search our hearts and to give them to him. He will walk through our hearts and take them away. We need to give them to him. So this is followed in verse 33. "Then all the Midianites and the Amalekites and the children of the east were gathered together and went over and pitched in the valley of Jezreel." So the Midianites are coming again, the Amalekites are coming again. Right, yes, let's devour Israel again. Let's go and take all the food. Let's go and take all the cattle, like we always do. But in verse 34, we see a transformation here. It says, "But the Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon, and he blew a trumpet, and Abiezer was gathered after him." Because of what had gone on previously, he cleared all the idols. He was with the Lord. He was set to meet the emergency. Now we see in this example that there's things that need to be done to meet the emergency. It wasn't just we don't get into the story when Gideon just appears and goes, "Hey." We see the preparation which goes on before this. The clearing of the idols, the heart searching. And as the Spirit of the Lord fell on Gideon, he blew the trumpet. Now the trumpet for ancient Israel was used for two things. To gather three things. It's to gather everybody for the ceremonies. It was also to just gather everybody together to the door of the altar for prayer and ordinances. But it was also used after gathering to go to war. Now a continuous long sound would be for the gathering, but a broken sound of the trumpet would be to go to war. So at first, Gideon had called the people to be gathered. And then from these people would be those who were chosen to go out into the battle. But as this, Gideon wanted a token from the Lord, as everybody was gathered together by him. It wasn't so much of doubt or fear. It was if he was called to this divine calling to lead the people of Israel into this battle. He dare not proceed without the Lord's approval. And we know of the story of the fleece, where the Lord had showed him his approval. Now as we see this, we go into into chapter 7. And we get an introduction as everybody is ready. Everybody's gathered to war and ready for this to go. Then Jeroboam let Baal plead. If Baal is God, let him fight. That was the name given to Gideon by his father after he tore down the altars of Baal. If Baal is God, let him fight against God. Let's see how this turns out. Let him fight. And all the people that were with him rose up early and pitched beside the well of Harod, so that the host of the Midianites were on the north side of them, by the hill of Moreh, in the valley. Let's look at what that valley looked like, of what they could see. The valley of Jezreel, which is God's souls. Imagine going up to that and seeing all that valley below you filled with enemy. That is the valley of Jezreel, and that is the site what greeted Gideon and his soldiers. That fall. It says the enemies were as the sand of the sea. Now might this cause, as it says, they pitched beside the well of Harod, which was the well of trembling, the well of fear. Were they going to drink from the well of fear? Or was they going to go and drink from the hill of Moreh, the hill of the early rain? Which one are you going to drink from? The well of trembling, or the hill of the early rain, the hill of teaching? This is something which is, later on we'll see who was drinking from the well of trembling, or who was drinking of the early rain. Gideon saw these people and says, you know what I'll do? We've only got a small army here. We've only got, say, 32,000. I won't give the usual call, which we'll give out. Now, it was said in the times of Israel that when everybody was gathered, you were to give the call to all what are around you to test their heart, to see if they really want to go to battle. Gideon didn't do this. He dropped the standard. He dropped the bar. He says, oh, we need everybody. We need loads. Let's drop the standard so everybody can go to battle and we might have a chance. But the Lord said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me, to give the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, mine own hand have saved me. You know the one. Oh, yeah, that's because I prayed, that was. Yeah, that's because I gave them that tract. Yeah, it was because I was in that place at that time, and yes, I contributed to it. In fact, yeah, you know, praise be to God, but yeah, give me some praise too. There were some of those in the camp, and the Lord saw it. So Gideon had to give the call, which he was supposed to, which he said, now therefore go to the proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. Mount Gilead. Depart early from the mount of witness. Depart early from the mount of witness. We cannot witness for God if we are fearful in our hearts. Oh, Jesus saves. I'm not quite sure, but here, try. We cannot be in the Mount Gilead if we are fearful, children of God. Do we know that Jesus Christ saves? Do we know that Jesus Christ saves?
Yes.
They need to know. So with this, there was a test which was given to the people of God at this time, and 20,000 left. 20,000, nearly 2/3 of the people had left after this call was given. And there remained 10,000. And then again, the Lord says to Gideon, the people that you've got are too many. Bring them down